Well, hey, it's the announcement guy. I'm over here in the chapel, and this is a great place to come on Sunday morning before the service to get centered, or in between services to do some praying. Got a good crowd in here today, and you can really feel the energy in the room. It's really nice, so come stop by sometime. Here's what's coming up.
When we're confronted with crisis, what inner strength helps us the most? Open to Life, a new workshop with Jackie Harris, begins August 4th. Did I mention that it's with Jackie Harris? Embracing the Shadow with Simon Shadowlight, Friday, August 5th. In having the courage to acknowledge, integrate, and even embrace the shadow, we will find treasures, we will find gifts, we will deepen in our understanding and experience of what it means to be whole.
Sacred Saturday is a devotional time to walk our labyrinth and experience transformation through spiritual contemplation. Join us this Saturday, August 6th, with Chris Plem, Jackie Harris, and longtime Mile High Church members Chris and Larry Katzenmeyer for a day of interconnection while deepening your awareness of your unique expression in the world. Visit the events page at milehighchurch.org for details.
So yeah, I'm back here in the Vote Chapel doing some meditation with some friends, and I can really feel that everybody's in it this morning and really digging in on their spiritual practice. Feels good. Have a great week.
All right, let's do a different kind of a spiritual practice, and that is for us to sing together. So if it feels good to you, let's do it. We are mile high, we are the world. We are every man and woman, every boy and girl. We are mile high, we are the world. We are every man and woman, every boy and girl. Look around and tell me what you see. Smiling faces shining back at me. All of my neighbors, all of my friends. One mind, one life, one heart. Oh, we are mile high, we are the world. We are every man and woman, every boy and girl. We are mile high, we are the world. We are every man and woman, every boy and girl. Take my hand, together we will be love and light. We stand in unity. All of my neighbors and all of my friends. One mind, one life, one heart. We are mile high, we are the world. We are every man and woman, every boy and girl. We are mile high, we are the world. We are every man and woman, every boy and... Let me hear it. We are... Yeah! So good! We are mile high, we are the world. We are every man and woman, every boy and girl. We are mile high, we are the world. We are every man and woman, every boy and girl. We are mile high.
Thank you, Tom Litch, the Mile High Band. Welcome. How y'all doing? This is a beautiful day. Well, you sounded not quite convinced on that, but you can have your own experience, whatever you want to do. So let's start with a survey, some questions for you. Who here, show of hands, has seen the movie City Slickers? All right, good. Billy Crystal, Jack Palance, awesome. This one's a little harder, maybe. Who has seen the animated movie How to Tame Your Dragon? Awesome, I'm proud of you. If you haven't, now you have your assignment for the weekend. Now this one might be tricky. I'll be surprised. How many of you have seen the animated series Avatar: The Last Airbender? This is not the Cameron film. I'm impressed. Very nice, very nice. If you haven't, I recommend it. It's an awesome. What? Whatever. I recommend it, though. What do those three movies have in common? Well, we're going to talk about that during the message. So it's a good thing that you are here. In the meantime, if you are new to this community, if you're checking us out, want to see if we're a bunch of wackos or not, here's what I want to tell you. We might be wackos. We are a loving spiritual community. We accept who you are. We embrace who you are. We welcome who you are, but we will not judge who you are. All are welcome. And as our foundation, we have a vision and a mission that we tend to repeat most every week. And we're going to do it, but we're going to do it a little bit differently. We're going to do it call and response. So I'll say part, and then you can repeat. Sound good? All right, our vision. Oneness revealed. A world of love. Peace. And abundance for all. And our mission is to serve as a spiritual beacon. For personal empowerment. And global enlightenment. Praise God, you're all hired. Yay! Did a great job. Did a great job. You'll have more opportunities to participate during the service, I promise you. But now let's begin with a little music, silence, and prayer.
Surely the presence of God is in this place. I can feel the mighty power and the grace. I can hear the brush of angel wings. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence God is in this place. Surely the presence of God is in this place. I can feel the mighty power and the grace. I can hear the brush of angel wings. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of God is in this place. So in this sacred moment right here, we do acknowledge that the presence of the living Spirit is right here where we are, all around us and within each of us. And I give such thanks for that. And on this Sunday, when we acknowledge our practitioners, our new practitioners and those who have served for so long, I give thanks for the power of prayer, the foundation upon which we stand in this teaching. All the practitioners who made such a difference in my life, so many of our lives, as teachers, as prayer partners. And I do acknowledge right now the great power of prayer. That there is indeed one life, one mind, one soul that we all share, that is available to us. A place where we connect with the deeper truth of ourselves. I acknowledge that the door to the soul opens inward. That power that we seek, that peace that we seek, lives in us, awaits our recognition of it. And I give such thanks for that. And I give thanks for seekers of truth all over this planet, however they may pray, however they may worship. I know that we all seek that deeper connection with the truth of who we are. And I affirm and know that we are moving closer together and that the living Spirit is alive right now. Though we face many challenges, we are not alone. And we can do this. So I give thanks for this beloved community, Mile High Church, the lighthouse that we continue to be. I give thanks for all who serve here, for those who support our youth and our families, all those who come together to bring this service. And I give thanks for Reverend Simon this morning, for his message, for his passion. What a blessing it is to be together in community. And I give thanks for this beloved community and for the work we do together. And so it is. Amen.
In this moment, in this place, I remember who I am. Letting fear and worry fall away from me, I open my eyes and see there is only love. There is only love. A love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love. Yes, it's a love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love.
Thank you, Tom. As you hear us speaking about, and I think one of the most genius things the founder of our teaching, Dr. Ernest Holmes, ever created, we have practitioner prayer partners who are part of our ministry. And today, as Dr. Barry mentioned, we are getting a chance to acknowledge those wonderful folks in their service to our community. They take 6 core classes and then spend 2 years in studying to become a practitioner. And that's the work of the logistics and the study part. But through all of that, there's also a call to each one of them for a deepening of consciousness, a letting go of the human stuff that gets in the way, the shadow that Reverend Simon will talk about later, to discover, experience, and express the God light that is in them and practice these teachings at a very deep, profound level for themselves, for our church, and for the world. So they serve our prayer ministry. In particular, you were given a brochure today as you came in about our care ministry and our prayer and care center, and they participate in many activities to support our community. They support us in classes and all sorts of group activities. They are a core part of our community, and I know that for me, it has been so helpful throughout my life to be served by practitioners who could call me back to the truth of who I am when I've lost my way, whom I could surrender my concerns to and experience deep prayer. And so I celebrate and give thanks to all of our practitioner partners as an opportunity to acknowledge them today. And we have some brand new ones and some longtime serving ones that we also get to call out today.
So we have 15 new practitioners we're installing, we might say. We went through a wonderful stole ceremony, secret society practitioner meeting this past Friday. But what a wonderful demonstration for this church. And so as I say each name, you can stand up, you can spin around, you can do whatever you like. Some are watching online today. We're so grateful. But we are so blessed to have Trixie Addison, Diana Allen, Sharon Boyleson, Jana Burnham, Dodie Jackson, Catherine Lancaster, Joni McMenamin, Jenny Page, Edith Rincon, Rayetta Silverman, Bree Stelt, Margaret Webster, Liesel Wilbur, Stephanie Willingham, Fran Winslow. We are so grateful for them, and most of them are serving right here on campus, but some of them are becoming outreach practitioners. And you may not know, we have about 35 or so outreach practitioners that serve from all over. Fran Winslow is one of those serving in Florida. I know another one here today is Jan Wong, who serves in Montana. We're so grateful for all of our practitioner prayer partners. And I would like to call out right now Cheryl Luttringer and Carrie Tolkarski. And hopefully watching us from home, she can stand up, Sandra Ray. And these three practitioners are receiving a very special designation called Emeritus Practitioner this weekend. And Emeritus Practitioner means that they have served loyally, actively, supportingly for 20 years. It also means they don't have to pay their relicensing fees to the Centers for Spiritual Living. They're practitioners for life. But just think of 20 years. Think of all the prayers, all the little connections, all the ahas, all the hours of holding consciousness, all of the ripples of impact that you've had on so many different lives. And you represent the whole practitioner body here today. But what a special crossing of the threshold to be one for life. So let's hear it for them.
One more acknowledgement, and that is I invite, as I said last week, for each one of us to feel into our hearts and just feel the times that we've been supported by a practitioner prayer partner. Maybe it was coming down for prayer or putting a prayer request in our ministry of prayer or going and having a session with one of them. And just feel that gratitude in your heart and broadcast that out right now as we invite those of you watching online, you practitioners that were home, you get to do this too, but I'd like to invite all of our practitioner prayer partners to stand so that we can acknowledge them. They're in the room. They've got their purple stoles on. Let's celebrate them all. We'll talk about this session later. And later today, Josh, and did you already do, you're doing one online later today, right?
No, in person. If you're
person.
interested, if you're what the heck is this practitioner stuff, and I might want to be one, come to the community center after service, about 15 minutes after Reverend Michelle Scavetta, and I will be there to talk about our practitioner studies program.
Thank you. We love you, practitioners.
Thanks, everybody.
Awesome. I'll just give my personal thank you to all the practitioners who've supported me over the last 20 years. And I would just like to say that My family has been supporting my oldest child, Nicola, through a cancer challenge for the last many, many months. And Nicola has had surgery, and everything came back clean. There is no sign of cancer whatsoever. So we are celebrating that so much. And so this is a song that helps me remember that even in the times where we need support from practitioners, there is nowhere that God is not. Sometimes I forget where I come from. Sometimes I forget where I'm going to. Sometimes I get so confused I lose my way. Sometimes I don't know what to say. Then I remember there is nowhere that God is not. There is nowhere that God is not. There is nowhere that God is not. 'Cause everywhere I am, I know what I got. Sometimes I believe in what I see. Sometimes I believe in what I perceive. Sometimes I get so confused I lose my way. Sometimes I don't know what to say. Here we go, sing along. And I remember there is nowhere that God is not. No, no, no. There is nowhere that God is not. There is nowhere that God is not. Everywhere I am, I know what I got. I forgot to pray, forgot to be still and know. Forgot to forgive myself until I forget myself. I forgot to ask for help, forgot to say a single word. Forgot to believe in me, believe in my spirit word. Yeah. And I remember there is nowhere that God is not. No, no, no. There is nowhere that God is not. There is nowhere that God is not. Everywhere I am, I know what I got. Everywhere I am, I know what I got. Everywhere I am, I know what I got. Woo! Yeah, yeah.
Mr. Rob Lowe. How are your fingers there, brother? Thank you so much to all of our musicians. You are all so talented, and we are the lucky recipients of your gifts. How y'all doing? I know I asked that before, but, wanted to check in, make sure nothing had changed. And I want to extend my gratitude to all of those who are practitioners. It is such an amazing journey, an amazing thing to say yes to that kind of service. And I know my family, Kristen, my wife, and my son Zach, and my daughter Sarah, we have been held in the arms of that prayer support many times. So thank you so much. And that journey is an arduous journey to be a practitioner. I don't want to scare anybody off Especially since, hey, I want to be interested in that. I want to do that. You will face your stuff. You will. And that's a good thing. But it is a 2-year journey built up by a lot of prerequisites and a lot of willingness. Thank you. And let's not put our practitioners or our ministers, who are also practitioners, let's not put them on too high of a pedestal. Yes, it's an amazing thing, but let's not forget that we are all revealers of truth. Each and every one of us are in the midst of that infinite God essence, and it is available. Everything we need is available to us. Don't believe me? Well, our founder, Dr. Ernest Holmes, in 1927, a request was made of him to write down a bunch of statements about what we as religious scientists believe. One of those, and this was for the first edition of the Science of Mind magazine, and one of those statements was, we believe in the direct revelation of truth through our intuitive and spiritual nature, and that anyone can become a revealer of truth who lives in close contact with the indwelling God. Wait a minute, Simon. You telling me anyone? I mean, like anyone? Yeah, anyone. Okay, there's not so you don't have to take a class, you don't have to get a title, you don't have to be officially granted permission, you don't have to open up your third eye and know the secret handshake. No, anyone can be a revealer of truth. Well, why is that? How is that? How can that be so? Well, you see, we teach, and our founder taught, that there is one mind. Not many minds, but one mind. And that was his term that he favored. You could say infinite field of intelligence. There is one consciousness. There is one aware presence. There is one life. I mean, that life that exists in you is the same life that exists in me. That truth that is available to you, the same truth that is available to me. Ernest Holmes would say, there's not my mind and God's mind, there is only God's mind. And that which I call my mind is the part, the aspect of that one infinite field of intelligence that I am using, that I am aware. But there is only one. Therefore, truth is all around us. Now, do I, being the one mind, do I know everything? No. Do you? Do you know everything? Probably not. But there is a field of intelligence, there is a mind in which all is known and all can be known, and we are of that one, and what is known in one part can be known in any part. Therefore, when you are in need of guidance, wisdom, truth, answers, and you go within to get in close contact with that indwelling God, when you get centered, when you are present, when you open your heart, that which you need to know is available, will be revealed to you. And I want to share with you some examples. I'm going to share with you 3 examples today of little revelations I've had. Share them in the hope that you may find some value in them. Did I go to ancient scripture, ancient texts? Are these the revelatory products of these wonderful classes that we offer here? No. I watched movies. Truth is wherever you find it. Truth is all around us, right? I mean, what is a movie but an expression of creativity that manifests itself through a unique individualization of God? That's what a movie is. Truth is where you find it. So I asked you at the beginning, have you seen these movies? And I want to talk about these movies. First one, City Slickers. City Slickers centers on a man named Mitch, played by Billy Crystal. And he is in a midlife crisis. I mean, his life is... His job stinks. It's draining the life out of him. The relationship with his wife, with his family is flat. There's no passion. He is a perfect example of what Henry David Thoreau said, most live their lives in quiet desperation. He is going nowhere fast. But he has a couple of buddies, a couple of friends, and each year they go on some wild adventure, right? In an attempt to, stave off that middle-age crisis, in an attempt to reclaim their waning masculinity. And this year, they're going to go on a supervised cattle drive from New Mexico to Colorado. So they go out there and they meet the crew and they're doing their thing and they're going on their journey. And the trail boss, their supervisor, their guide, is a guy named Curly, played by Jack Palance. Curly is the last of a dying breed. He is a true man's man. He is the last of the cowboys, born and bred on the back of a horse and should be under the bright blue sky. He is tough as nails, and Mitch is scared to death of him. Yet, as they travel together, Curly begins to reveal some of his life. He begins to soften up a little. And at one point, he and Mitch are out riding together alone, trying to gather up some strays. And Curly shares, a really significant thing about the love of his life and how he kind of had and lost that love of his life. And Mitch is like, oh my God, I don't know how you did that. I don't think I could ever do that. And he's like, trouble with you city folks. You spend 50 weeks out of the year tying your rope in knots, and then you think you're going to come up here for 2 weeks and get it all untied. He says, you want to know what the secret of life is? And Mitch is like, yeah, I do. And he's like, it's this. And Mitch is like, what, your finger? Now, if you saw the movie, what is this? One thing. One thing. Find your one thing and organize your life around it. And Mitch is like, well, what's the one thing? What's the one thing? He's like, that's for you to decide. Everybody's one thing is different. But find your one thing, organize your life around it, and then the rest of it don't matter. You'd have to see the movie for the word they use. Can't really do that in church. It's very similar. In many Christian communities, there's this saying, what would Jesus do? And in a sense, that becomes the one thing, in any situation. Well, what would Jesus do? And that becomes the model, the measuring stick, the guiding star. So I suspect many of you already know what your one thing is. It's that theme, that quality that shows up time and time again. It's that thing that you are often, I like to think of it as expression and experience. Expression and experience. It's that thing you often find yourself coming to do. Like you are the one who brings this quality. You are the one who models this. You are the one who organizes your life around this. And you're often called, how can I be more of this? You're seeking for it. You're looking for it. You're embodying it. So like mine is balance. Mine is balance. That's what my one thing is. I knew this 35 years ago when I went into the desert on a vision quest and fast and came away with the name Shadowlight. It wasn't some big dramatic, oh, I like that name, it's a really cool name. No, I needed to find balance. And this became my touchstone. Every time somebody says my name, I'm reminded, balance. That's my purpose. That's my one thing. When I'm in trouble, when life is not going the way I want it to be, okay, where are things out of balance? It's my touchstone. What would balance do in this situation? How am I being called to show up with balance, to add balance, to bring balance? And how should I be looking? How should I be more open to balance? What do I have to learn about balance? Well, let's say yours was beauty, right? What would beauty do in this situation? Now, there might be some obvious things, right? I mean, you might dress in a way that you feel is beautiful. You might, decorate your house, your environment in ways that are beautiful. Okay, that's fine. Let's go a little bit deeper. What does it mean in all of your relationships with all of your relationships, your interactions with people, if constantly in the back of your mind, what would beauty do here? What does it mean to bring beauty to my relationships? What would it mean to bring beauty to your health, your fitness, your wellness? What would it mean to bring beauty to your finances? I don't know. But if that was your word, then there is your work. A constant touchstone. What would this quality do in this situation? How can I bring this quality? How can I radiate it? And what do I have to learn from it? How can I embrace it more? How can I find it? Find your one thing and organize your life around it. The second movie, How to Tame Your Dragon. How to Tame Your Dragon, one of my favorite movies. If you've seen it, you're my people. I love you. I love all of you, but you know what I mean. I love this movie. It centers on a young Viking, a Viking teenager by the name of Hiccup. Now, Hiccup lives in the isolated village of Burke, and Burke has a dragon problem. Hundreds of years, dragons will come and they'll raid, they'll burn the houses, they'll steal the livestock, and the Vikings are at war with the dragons. Now, Hiccup is not your average, what you tend to think of your average Viking, big and brawny and fierce and ready to go to war in a moment's notice. No, Hiccup is everything that's not that, right? And it's complicated by the fact that his father is a big, brawny, classic Viking and also happens to be the chief of the tribe. So Hiccup is constantly trying to live up to this thing that he just isn't. He just cannot be. But what he lacks in brawn, he makes up for in brain. He is creative. He is ingenuitive. He makes all these amazing mechanical contraptions, inventions. And one night, Burke is being attacked by dragons, all sorts of different dragons. He pulls out one of his inventions, kind of like a big crossbow thing, and he's sure that there is not just a dragon, but a night fury. The dreaded night fury, of which very little is known. They're rarely seen, and they are the most feared dragon of all. In fact, grown classic Vikings, like even his father, would hide under the table in the presence of a night fury. And Hiccup is sure that one is flying around. So he launches this net, and he's sure that he's hit something, he's brought down something. And he tells his fellow Vikings, he tells his dad, and they're like, yeah, sure, right, you're dreaming. Yeah, that's not you. Well, he's sure that he got something, though. So the next day he goes out into the woods, and he tracks it. He can see the broken trees, the broken branches, and sure enough, there's a dragon, the dreaded night fury that few have ever seen before. And it's all caught up in his net. This is his chance. So he draws his dagger. He stands over the night fury. He knows that this is his chance to esteem himself. I mean, now he brings home a night fury, a dead night fury. He will be worthy to be called the village chief's son. He's all ready. And he can't do it. He can't do it because he's also got a big heart. So he cuts the ropes, he cuts the nets, lets the dragon go, and off he goes, back to his life. Well, a couple of days later, he comes back. The dragon is still there, kind of in this cove, and he realizes that he's stuck. And what happened is when he shot the net at the dragon, he unintentionally ripped off part of the dragon's tail fin, his guidon fin, and now the dragon can't fly. He's crippled it. Well, Hiccup feels terrible about this. He can't just leave the dragon to die, so he starts bringing it fish. And very slowly, this relationship starts to form between the two. They start to build trust. And then Hiccup has this awesome idea. Well, he could build a prosthetic tail fin, and then the dragon could fly again. Now, the problem is he's going to have to manually operate it. So he's going to have to make this saddle and kind of, tack and harness. He's going to have to learn how to ride the dragon. And he gives the dragon the name Toothless because he has retractable teeth. So he calls him Toothless. He's going to have to learn how to ride Toothless. Well, this requires more trust, more bonding, but eventually it happens. He goes on this ride, and Toothless can ride, and there's like this synergy between the two of them, and it is amazing. And then his dad finds out. And his dad is pissed off. He feels like Hiccup has betrayed him in everything he stands for. I mean, it's kind of a Romeo and Juliet moment. Like, what? You've gone over to their family? What the heck? And he is mad, and he disowns Hiccup. And his father gets in his mind that Hiccup, or that Toothless, can guide the Vikings to the hidden dragon nest. And they could attack and they could wipe out the dragons once and for all, put an end to all of this. So they capture Toothless. And, Hiccup is saying, hey, you don't understand. They're not our enemies. There's reasons that they attack us. You don't understand. They don't listen to him. So he is there now, totally devastated, standing on a cliff, watching the Viking fleet sail away. His father has disowned him. Toothless is chained into the lead ship to act as a guide, and he's heartbroken. And his friend Astrid comes up behind him and says, wow, you really made a mess of things. You must be feeling terrible. You've lost everything. You lost your best friend. You lost your father. You've lost your tribe. You must be feeling terrible. And he's like, yeah, I am. Thanks for pointing all of that out. Yeah. And then he laments, why couldn't I have just killed that dragon? If I just would have killed that dragon, none of this would have happened. And Astrid's like, yeah, why didn't you? The rest of us would have. Why didn't you kill him? And he's like, I don't know. I was weak. I'm a coward. I'm not a good Viking. I'm the first Viking in 300 years who couldn't kill a dragon. And Astrid's like, oh yeah. First one to ride one, though. So why didn't you kill him? And Hiccup says, when I looked at him, I saw that he was just as scared as I was. I looked at him and I saw myself. Pearl of wisdom, revelation. See yourself in the other. I guarantee you, if we all could better see ourselves in the other, we would not have half the problems, half the issues we have in the world today. This weekend, this Friday evening, 6 to 9, I think, and Saturday, 9 to 4, I'm going to be offering a workshop. This is the shameless plug, by the way. I'm going to be offering a workshop called Embracing the Shadow, and this is the essence of it. Because there are those aspects of self that, for whatever reason, as we were growing up, they're just too painful. In some way, we rejected them. We said, no, that's not me. That's not me. So we shoved them down out of our awareness. Right? Kind of like pushing a beach ball, a big beach ball under the water. We push it down out of sight. And if it's out of sight, hey, out of sight, out of mind, not me, it ain't me. Well, the problem with that is, even though it's out of sight, it takes energy. The energy you may not even be aware of that you're spending. It just takes energy to keep that down. And what do we all know? Every now and then, it can blow up in our face, come rearing its ugly head. And we're like, oh my God, that wasn't me. Yeah, it was. Because see, here's the thing. In Science of Mind, we spend a lot, and rightly and appropriately, we spend a lot on affirming that which we desire to be. But those little pieces get shoved into the shadow because we just don't want to claim them. Well, the psychologist Carl Jung said, we do not become enlightened. We do not become whole by simply embracing and affirming figures of light. We come whole by shining our light into the shadow, into the darkness, and claiming those pieces that we have disowned. When we are willing to look at those things that we have disowned, then and only then can we make a choice. Do I embrace this? Do I integrate this into me? Is there some gift that I need to claim? Oh, don't be heard, don't make a lot of noise. We don't want to hear your voice. Maybe it's time that I embrace that. Or maybe it's time I let it go. It's done. I've acknowledged it. I let it go. That is the essence of shadow work. And we'll be holding up that mirror to our lives if you are interested in the workshop and looking at some of those things. The third movie is the animated series called Avatar: The Last Airbender. And it is a story, it's a story in which the world has been divided into 4 societies based on natural elements. So there's the water tribe, the fire nation, the earth kingdom, and the air nomads, right? These societies are based around these four elements. And within each society, there are those gifted individuals who can telekinetically manipulate those elements. They're called benders. So water benders, earth benders, and they can raise up the earth and move it and do things, and really very cool. And for centuries, those four societies have lived in peace, have lived in harmony. But then the Fire Nation figures, it's the Fire Nation. The Fire Nation decides they're going to start a war of global conquest. They're going to take over everything. Well, now legend has it that there is one who could stop that, who could prevent that. The Avatar. But nobody knows where the Avatar is. The Avatar can't be found. Fast forward 100 years to the beginning of our story. Two young waterbenders, Katara and Sokka, find this young boy named Aang, 12, 13-year-old, find him suspended, in suspended animation in an iceberg. They free him. They realize that he is the Avatar who went missing. And now their journey is to help him learn to master all of the elements, because the Avatar is the personification of the spirit of light in humanity and can master all those elements and bring them into balance. But their journey is not an easy one. It may be an animated series, but they deal with hard issues. There is betrayal. They're constantly being chased by the Fire Nation. There's lies, there's deceit, there's people are lost, broken hearts. And at one point, it just becomes too much for Aang. I mean, he's a kid, he's a teenager, and he's bearing this weight of being the world's savior. It's too much. He's afraid that he won't be good enough to accomplish it, to fulfill his purpose. And at the same time, he's afraid that if he does, it might go to his head and he might become a tyrant and use and abuse all of that power. So he's just like, it's enough. I can't do this. I want to give up. I want to quit. It's really actually sort of a Garden of Gethsemane moment. That moment in the garden in which Jesus said, Lord, if it be thy will, take this cup. Let this cup pass from me. It's too much. I don't want to do this anymore. And so there's Aang. He's in this crisis moment, and Katara comes up, and she has a heart-to-heart with him, and she says, look, I know it's hard. I know you feel overwhelmed. I know there's so much divisiveness, so much people coming after you, people hate you. I know the burden that you're carrying. I know how hard it is to maintain hope when it feels like everything is lost and there's no point and there's no purpose. But please, please promise me, don't stop caring. And that's our third little reminder, little pearl of wisdom. Don't stop caring. This life is challenging. This life is hard. I don't care how good of religious science you are, how well you want to manifest your affirmations, bring on your highest and best. It's challenging. And I think that's good. Because if it wasn't, I don't think any of us came here to sit on the beach all day. I mean, yeah, that sounds great. That sounds great. Like I did. Did you not get the memo? No, but seriously, that's a great vacation. Let's do that for a week. Let's do that for a month. But a lifetime? Really? I don't know about you. I get relaxing on the beach. I don't do a lot of growth on the beach. Sorry. We came here to be present, to be open to that. That's funny. I got off track. I forgot what I was going to say. So there we are with Aang. He's having this moment. And he realizes he has to keep caring. And that's what we have to keep doing. Please, promise me you won't stop caring. So there it is, our 3 pearls of wisdom that I share with you. I invite you to consider. Find your one thing and organize your life around it. See yourself in the other. And please, don't stop caring. We believe in the direct revelation of truth through our intuitive and spiritual nature, and that anyone can become a revealer of truth who lives in close contact with the indwelling Spirit. Let's pray. We're going to do this a little different. I invite you to be in that space of having an open heart. Just be present. I would invite our new practitioners to stand. Let's just hold these beings in love. These individualizations of the divine. I affirm that each of them in exactly the right way are supported, guided, that their yes is rich and well rewarded, and that they are of most excellent service to this community. I invite all of our practitioners and ministers to stand. And I give thanks for all of these beings who have made such a public yes, who have said yes to being that vehicle, that messenger through which the divine speaks. And I speak this word for this community, this spiritual community, this beacon of light. And I affirm that the work we do here benefits all. It ripples out beyond the boundaries of this community. For right where we are, God is. There are no boundaries. There's no separation. And we are fully supported, fully resourced. We are guided in all we do. And all we do is an expression of love, truth, beauty, prosperity, life, and love. And now I invite anyone who wants to stand, everyone who is called, I invite you to stand to claim your place as a messenger of God, as a revealer of the truth. If you want, stand. Add your voice to this chant. Hallelujah. 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 And so it is. I invite you to just carry that with you. Be that hallelujah. Be that in all that you are. Heck, that'd be a good one thing to be. Now let's move into that time of gifts and offerings, and I invite our beloved ushers to do whatever it is you do in your marvelous service. I know. And all of you, I want to thank you. I want to thank you for the ways that you have supported Mile High Church. And if that's financially, if you're in a place where you can support us financially, there are numerous ways to do that. We'll pass the baskets. There's likely buckets out in the lobby. You can go online. You can text. You can mail. But however you show up, you bring your hearts. You bring your love. You bring your service. You just show up. That's a great thing. Don't ever underestimate the power, the worth, and the value of your presence. If that's all you ever do, that is enough. So if it calls to you, feel free to put your offering over your heart or your hands or metaphorically, however you want to do it. And for those of you online, this word, likewise, thank you so much. And let's speak our affirmation. Divine love, as me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, and all that I circulate. So it is.
There's one life, one life, one life. One life living as you and me, one light shining as you and me, one love loving as you and me, 'cause God is all there is. One life living as you and me, one light shining as you and me, one love loving as you and me, 'cause God is all there is. I'm shining from the inside out, so happy that I just want to shout. One light living as you and me, one light shining as you and me, one love loving as you and me, 'cause God is all there is. Shining as you and me, one love loving as you and me, 'cause God is all there is. One life living as you and me, one light shining as you and me, one love loving as you and me, 'cause God is all there is. I'm shining from the inside out, so happy that I just want to shout. One life living as you and me, one light shining as you and me, one love loving as you and me, 'cause God is all there is. Bijou! So happy that I just want to shout. One life living as you and me, one light shining as you and me, one love loving as you and me, 'cause God is all there is. One life living as you and me, one light shining as you and me, one love loving as you and me, 'cause God is all there is.
Wow. Thank you, Bijou and Kent and Rob and Tom. We love you. And Mike, you know I'm a buddy of yours. Yeah. And this guy right here, Simon, thank you. You are a master storyteller. We love you. And I want to invite you all, the practitioners are coming in, going to be standing down front. And if prayer is calling to you, I would ask that you just wait till the aisle's clear, come forth and receive a powerful, powerful prayer. And for those of you that might be here today for the first time, stop by our Welcome Center, which is out in the lobby. And also at either end of our lobby are resource shelves where you can pick up information about this incredible spiritual community. Josh.
And I will add, Simon, one of the great gifts of being a minister is when your son is here and he has to listen to you for 25 minutes straight. And then he comes up and congratulates you. That was a sweet moment right there. Thank you, Zach. Sorry for calling you out, Zach. Hey, as everyone knows, we're not having an in-person Wednesday night service at 7 p.m. on Wednesday, but we are premiering something this Wednesday called Wednesday Night Insight. It's just an insight from a minister, some time to meditate, a prayer from a practitioner. So that'll be premiering online through our website, YouTube, etc. at 7 p.m. on Wednesday. Next week, Michelle, we have our annual meeting. It happens after the second service, and it's a great opportunity just to share in the ownership of your church. You'll hear reports from Michelle and myself, hear about our finances, what's going good, what our challenges are. We'll be honoring and selecting new Board of Trustees members, and so it really is an interesting, great thing to be a part of. So we're looking forward to that, and very excited to announce that Lisa Cutter is going to be with us on August 12th. Our Sacred Earth Ministry is supporting an event, and it's all about global warming, environmental issues, and ways that we as citizens can support. So there's all sorts of options for us, and it's a great place to learn, and we're grateful to everyone who's been a part of championing the Sacred Earth Ministry to be with us there. So it's a free event, 6 to 7:30 on August 12th. Where's Reverend Jackie Harris? Oh, Jackie, you have... what is your workshop called, and when does it start? If you need a class that starts this week, what should they do?
They should come to what is it? Well, here's what's so funny about it to me is that it's opening up to life, and it's all about love. And what it is it's loving yourself, and we will be using the loving kindness meditation so that you can get to the place where you love those people that seem to be unlovable. So I look forward to having you with me.
Oh, I love that tagline. And speaking of love, there's a food truck out there selling quesadillas, so hang out for a little while and enjoy each other's company. Reverend Simon, take us home.
All right, let's make sure my mic's on. Yes. All right, I would invite you to stand. Join me for the benediction. Let us be ready in our own way to claim that we are indeed messengers of the divine, that we indeed are revealers of truth. Let us go out there and let our light shine so brightly that people will come up to us and say, "My God, what church do you go to? I want to go there." Let us be that light and that blessing. This is my word. I release it unto the law, and so it is.
Let be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as our power, family all are we. Let us walk with each other